This is Brian Crecente, who, if you're not familiar, you're about to be. He is the Polygon co-founder, and many of you might recognize this one here, the Kotaku founder. And he's currently Pad and Pixel Consulting. And my goodness, did Brian, along with many other lefty lunatics today, have quite a wild and reckless day on social media with their hate for Charlie Kirk and disgusting rhetoric that they were posting throughout the day. And yes, this person, who I didn't even know who they were, has me blocked, by the way. So there's that. And we have a couple posts that I wanted to go through with him. Oof. Charlie Kirk's boys should have used the same team that faked Trump's shooting. This is what happens when you try to save money on your false flag operations. So almost immediately he jumped to, it's fake. Because of course, no way a lefty lunatic could actually assassinate someone. They're always false flags and fake. And then followed it up with, imagine being upset that the architect of the insurrection attempt, an active COVID and election denier, and climate change denier getting shot. Who knows how many deaths can be attributed to this dude? So now he's trying to claim that because he was a COVID denier and election denier, that caused deaths with COVID. Oh, and climate change, because yes, climate change apparently is killing a whole bunch of people. And because denying it, he somehow killed people with it. I'm telling you, this guy's got some takes, and that is certainly something. Retweeting. This is, by the way, Kotaku founder. Retweeting, I'm old enough to remember Republicans wearing assault rifle pins and only sending out their thoughts and prayers for every school shooting with the gun pins. Somehow trying to attribute this to a Republican that shot him. Bring the Epstein files. Charlie Kirk on mass shooting victims. We cannot allow them to emotionally hijack the narrative. This is April 10th, 2023. So trying to bring back history and use it as an own to a dude that was just senselessly murdered in cold blood in front of his wife and kids and over 3,000 people for daring to have a conversation and speak about what he believes in. Let's not allow MAGA emotionally hijack the narrative, right, Charlie? Charlie Kirk on mass shooting victims. We cannot allow them to emotionally hijack the narrative. Yeah, which is what what mainstream was trying to actively do, by the way, today. Funny how that works. Political violence has no place here. It says place where political violence is regularly rewarded. Retweeted by Brian. A bulletproof vest could not have saved Charlie Kirk. He was shot in the neck. The security he had did not save or protect him. If he had a gun, it wouldn't have mattered either, because he was shot reportedly from a sniper 200 yards away. The only thing that could have helped Charlie Kirk was more gun regulation, an idea he and his peers are vehemently against. I would argue it's not more gun protection. It's more mental institutions and getting the people the proper mental health they need. And this is Brian Crecente retweeting this dude that just got fired today from MSNBC. And then starts to talk about the school shootings. But he feels bad about the school shootings, guys. That's terrible. But Charlie Kirk, no, fuck him, apparently. Fuck him. It's too professional. It's also interesting how all right-wing networks are all blaming Democrats simultaneously. Yeah, because there's no reason a Republican would shoot this guy. Are you really that dumb? Holy shit. How all right-wing politicians automatically have the same talking points about the left is at fault? Yes, because the left is violent and they do not use words to fight. They use violence to fight. This is yet another time proving that. Possible his own party killed him to start a war. Well, that is certainly an angle. That's certainly some cope there. Getting ready for waves of propaganda. as a former right-winger, this guy got cucked. They don't actually care about Charlie Kirk. We don't care about Charlie Kirk, guys. Okay, these people, there is no help for these people. There's zero sympathy. There's an excitement to use his death and as an excuse to be angry. Bro, the projection is off the charts with these people. Brian Crecente, regarding intro time. I run a consultancy for video games, tech, and toys. Clients include Epic Games and Lego. Well, guys, looks like Lego and Epic Games are working with a guy that is actively cheering on the death of Charlie Kirk. You may also know me as the founder of Kotaku. Well, that explains a whole lot about Kotaku, doesn't it? Co-founder of Polygon. Explains a lot about Polygon. Video games editor at Rolling Stone and Variety. Wait, so you were the founder of Kotaku and then an editor at Rolling Stone. I seem to recall someone suing me that worked at both those places. Almost like she had connections. That's interesting. I still write, but mostly for clients and my column. Suddenly, Charlie Kirk is awful quiet about gun control, isn't he? Reposted by Brian. This is insane. Mike Drucker. I mean, the whole game industry is falling apart right now with these people. The house of cards of these psychopaths. Mike Drucker. What a effing way to find out magic is real. From Jezebel, a far left extremist website that employed Alyssa Mercante. If the far right misogynist with a bad haircut wants to villainize independent women, Jezebel is more than happy to be the hag of his nightmares. We paid some Etsy witches to curse Charlie Kirk. If you are, for some reason, feeling bad about today's shooting, you should read this. Charlie Kirk Wikipedia. Oh, yeah, because I'm sure that's not going to be biased with a bunch of left-wingists that are editing his profile to make him sound like he's the worst person ever. This is him on LinkedIn. President, consultant, writer, editor. Actively employed at his own company, Patent Pixel. Editor for contract for Epic Games, 4 years to present. Producer at Lego for 6 years, 4 months, active. So, yeah, this guy is currently working at those places with contracts. And this comes to us from That Park Place. Kotaku founder Brian Crecente mocked death of Charlie Kirk on social media hours after fatal shooting. Founder of Kotaku openly mocked the death of Charlie Kirk just hours after the tragic shooting. When the shocking news broke that conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot at a Utah event, reactions poured in across the country. Most people, regardless of politics, recognize that such political violence is unacceptable. And this is Grum's sharing what I was talking about here. And it said, yet one of the most troubling responses came from an unlikely corner of the media world. Brian Crecente, the founder of Kotaku and co-founder of Polygon. Crecente, who also served as Variety's video game editor, openly mocked the shooting and appeared to rationalize it on social media. Instead of condemning what happened, Crecente mocked Kirk's suffering. In one widely shared post, he wrote, "Oof, Charlie Kirk's boys should have used the same team that faked Trump's shooting. This is what happens when you try to save money on your false flag operations." In another message, he went even further, justifying shooting by tying it to Kirk's political positions. Imagine being upset that the architect of the insurrection attempt, an active COVID and election denier and climate change denier, getting shot. These statements weren't just criticisms of Kirk's politics. They were direct mockery of violence and a chilling example of how some in the media circles treat violence against political opponents as something to laugh at. Who is Brian? For those unfamiliar, let's be fair, probably most of you, Crecente is not a fringe commentator. He's one of the most recognizable figures in gaming journalism. This person, like I said, has me blocked on X. And for a while, I didn't even know who they were. And then when I found out it was the co-founder of Kotaku, I'm like, well, that makes sense. Founder of Kotaku, the site that became a powerhouse in video game news, often shaping industry conversations back in the day. Co-founder of Polygon, Variety video editor, ran video game coverage at Rolling Stone. In short, he was the heart of gaming journalism for nearly 2 decades. That legacy makes his words on Charlie Kirk all the more consequential and really kind of gives you some insight as to just how bad games journalism has fallen with these people at the helm. These people being the co-founders, the ones that started it all. Now it all makes sense when you get to the point of seeing who they really are and what they're laughing at. It's like, yep, the industry needs a revolution, a complete changeover into actual passionate, based, logical people that are compassionate about families and people that are not doing anything wrong, nothing violent, just having conversations. These people are so afraid of a talk that they are cheering on the death of someone that dared to say, hey, I disagree with you, and here's why. If that's not psychotic, I don't know what is. But yeah, that's Brian Crecente. And remember that name because he is someone that is probably going to be making more comments like this in the future. And hopefully people get to learn who he actually is. But I will leave that one there.